Hey guys, welcome. I understand that one of the demos is not working under Chapter 1, so I'm real quickly going to do another one for you. I believe it was demo number 7 that involved creating the stroke and changing the canvas size and so forth on page 11. So that's what I'm going to be working on right now. And I'm starting again on page 11. And at the top of page 11, it says to, in the layers panel, double click the background layer. And you'll see that I've already done that. If you go up into the history, well, let me get into Photoshop here. If you go into the history, I'm going to bring up our history so you can see. I've already done the auto color just because I couldn't stand to look at it the other way. And I've also tried a couple of times to do the content aware tool with this. I didn't like the way it was working, so I'm going to try something else, but I'll do that at the end of the demo after I get the stroke and so forth around it, the stroke and the canvas around it changed. So, but what I did want to do is show you before I made the layer, this is what your image layers probably looked like a background and it was locked. And so in the layers panel on the top of page 11, number 2, it says to double click the background layer, which I'm going to do, double click the background layer. And then you'll see that the new layer dialog box comes up, and we're going to type in lake. And then we're going to click OK. And you'll see that that renames the background layer and change it to lake. It also unlocks it and allows again for it to be editable. All right, to select the entire image in this document, we are going to do a Command A if you're on a Mac, or Control A if you're on a PC, or you can go up under the menu items and do Select All. When you have it all selected, you'll see the marching ants around it. And then from the menu, we're going to go to Choose Edit and Stroke. So we'll go over here to Edit and choose Stroke. And then we're going to enter the following parameters. And you want to see figure 123, which has 10 pixels width. So we're going to type in 10 and hit Tab. And the color we want to be white. So we're going to click right on that color, and we are going to bring it all the way over here to hopefully it's going to get us to white. 250, 0, 0, 0. I'm going to change this to 0. You'll see I go down into the CMYK, or I could have done that in the RGB as well. And if these three numbers RGB or 255, that indicates that it's white. Or in the CMYK color spectrum, if you do 0, 0, 0, 0, that indicates it's white. So I know it's white. I'm going to click OK. And then on the stroke, you want to make sure that you change that location to inside. And then we are going to click OK. See, normally I would be able to preview it to make sure that it's right. For some reason I'm not able to do that, so I'm just going to go ahead and click OK, and you'll see that the stroke does in fact appear around the image. Now we're going to go to Image and Canvas Size from the menu bar. So you go up to Image, down to Canvas Size, and we're going to select the relative option, which is right here. And for width, we're going to type in 0.5 inch. And it's supposed to be inches, not pixels. So we're going to change this from pixels to inches. And we're going to type in 0.5. And then for height, we're going to type in 0.5. And this will increase each side of the canvas by ½ of an inch. The anchor diagram allows you to determine where the new extra canvas will appear. And since we want it to surround the image, we're going to keep it in the center, which is right here. And then we're going to click OK, and that should increase our canvas. And of course, there it does. Now to add a drop shadow effect to this, you need to isolate the photo from the background. So we are going to place the cursor over the layer thumbnail, which is in your layers, and over the layer thumbnail. And then we are going to press Command if you're on a Mac, or Control if you're on a PC, and you'll see that little square, white square that's right on top of your layer thumbnail. You're going to click that, and then what happens is the entire all of the active pixels on that layer are now selected. So from the menu bar, we're going to go to Layer, and we're going to go to Layer Style, and we're going to go to Drop Shadow. Is right here. And then we're going to enter these parameters. The blend is going to be multiply. The opacity is going to be 75%, and hit Tab. The angle is going to be 120 degrees, and hit Tab. The distance is 10 pixels, and hit Tab. Spread is 20%, and hit Tab. The size is 10 pixels, and hit Tab. Leave the other settings at their default and click OK. And then if you see a checkered background, you can remove it to see your image better by going to Photoshop Preferences, Transparency, and Gamut, or Edit and Preferences, Transparency, and Gamut. See, I don't think that we did that enough, but we're going to go under, since I'm on a Mac, we're going to go to Photoshop, down to Preferences, and over to Transparency and Gamut. Let's see if I can preview it first. It doesn't look to be doing anything, but let me try it anyway. No, it didn't really. I'm going to do a select and deselect first. And then what I would do, just because it's easier for me than trying to figure out what's going on in the preferences file, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to add a new layer. And I'm going to put it on the bottom of my lake layer. I'm going to make sure that's highlighted. And then I'm going to go up under File. And I am going to go, under Edit. And I'm going to go to Fill. And I'm going to fill that with my foreground color, which is kind of an off-white, and click OK. And now I can see a little bit of the drop shadow on it. Not significant enough that I like, but that will do it for this particular demo. That shows you how to add the stroke, and maybe it would be better if I made this instead. Edit, let's see if I can do it in a different color that would make it easier for you to see it. Yeah, that's a little bit easier. The first thing that I want to do though is, or the last thing that I want to do is to get rid of this line. That's so distracting to me. So, and I don't remember that the textbook tells you how to do it. I'm just going to use the clone stamp tool. And I'm going to take a look at the brush size. I'm going to do it a little bit larger because I'm normally pretty impatient. And I want it a little bit feathered on the edges, so I'm going to make that not as hard. I'm going to do it about midway between very soft and very hard. And I'm going to come in here, and then I'm going to click Option if I'm on a Mac, Alt if I'm on a PC, up here, and then I'm going to try it. Oh, you know what? On the wrong layer. Great lesson, you guys. So I'm going to go up here, click and develop Option or Alt, develop my point of origin, and then I'm going to come down here. I don't really like that either. I think that's too dark. Oh, I don't like that at all. Why is that so weird? You'll see where my point of origin is going into the horizon. That's why you're seeing that little dark blue up there. I'm not going to do that either. I'm going to go back up under history, wherever my history is, and step back. This is better. You're not going to be able to do it in one fell swoop or really in large brush strokes, but this is how I would do it. And then in order to take care of that little tiny piece down there, I would of course zoom in on it, move it over here, and pick up my clone stamp again. And you see what the problem is that's too large of a brush, so I would back that brush size down. Again. All right, and so that's the way you would take care of that telephone wire or whatever that is hanging out across your image. So hopefully that helps with the demo that was missing. If you want anything else done, or if you need some help on something else, be sure and let me know. Thank you very much.